Hey friend, today I want to give you a basic overview of how Pro EQ works inside of Studio One and then also show you my favorite new features. Let's jump in. Okay, so we are inside Studio One and I have Pro EQ pulled up and I have a track of a version of Amazing Grace, just solo acoustic guitar that I did as a demonstration. Okay, so basically an overview of just how Pro EQ works. You can see the entire frequency spectrum really clearly with Pro EQ, and you can either view it up here or down below. Okay, and they have these little blocks of the different frequencies. So low cut, low frequency, low mid, mid frequency, high mid frequency here, high frequency, and high cut over here. And let's just play this so you can kind of see it. And you can turn on or off different frequencies just by clicking this little button right here, or you can activate it by clicking up here. You can boost it or reduce it just by dragging it. So super cool like that. Over here, you can choose different displays for how you want it to look. I kind of like the piano personally, so it kind of gives me a reference of where it lies within the piano. And then over here you can get more specific, and one of my what I love is this little Q knob here, and what it does is it dials in how narrow or wide you want a certain frequency. So if I want to really widen it, I can go like that. If I want to narrow it, I can go like that, and it gets it really, really precise. So if you have a certain frequency you want to just dial it in, you can do it with that. So that's super helpful. Okay, so my first favorite new feature is the solo button, and that you can find right here. It's a little S, and you can isolate any frequency you want across the spectrum. So let's listen to it. So I have it here just isolating that low end, and by the way, you can drag it across the whole thing. And you can just hear any of the frequencies that just by itself. So that's a really, really neat feature, especially if you have a problematic frequency you want to isolate and just figure it out where it is. You can do that with that solo function. Hey friend, if you don't know me, my name is Eric Miller and I teach recording to today's guitar player. So if you're finding value in this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Super powerful. Okay, so my second favorite feature is the dynamic button, okay? And you can find that right next to the solo button. And what that does is it applies a compressor onto the frequency you have selected. So let's just look at that really quick. And you can actually see it moving here. And what that is doing is basically compressing that frequency at the threshold that I have selected. So down below it gives you a threshold and a range knob, and you can adjust when you want the compressor to kick in at that frequency. So I can raise the threshold, which means it's going to apply less compression, and I can lower the threshold, which you're going to get a lot more compression. And you can see by this little meter right here going up and down that it's actually, that's what it's reducing the volume at just for that frequency. So this is really just really cool. It's very similar to the multiband dynamics plugin that Studio One has that you might use for mastering. But this is more specific, that you could apply to each instrument for each specific frequency. So really, really cool. So I encourage you to kind of experiment with this and just to try it on different instruments. I think it's really helpful for drums, particularly like a kick drum sound where it gets a little bit muddy. You might want to tighten that up using this dynamic function in the Pro EQ. You could use it on vocals. I have it obviously here on acoustic guitars. like where it got a little bit muddy in that low end and I wanted to clean it up there. Hey, if you want to go deeper into this, I have a free 5-step home recording guide you can get by clicking the link in the description below. And what it is an overview of how to set your studio up, how to get some really simple gear and get great tones from your home studio. Click the link in the description below to get the guide, and I'll see you in the next video.